Hi guys! So today I'm going to talk about Dancing with the Stars again, which, I feel like we all knew was going to happen, so let's just get right into it. I have an issue with the scoring. I think, in general, all of this season and, last season, the dances were grossly overscored. It just happens. It happens, and I'm sick of it. And it was just very apparent last night, which was Wicked Night. So we're going to run through all the dances and we're going to talk about it. So in no particular order, this is not the order they performed in. So starting off with Mormon wife Jen Affleck. She danced to As Long As You're Mine, and she got 4/8. Okay, not bad. Honestly, I think maybe throw a 7 in there and I would have agreed a little bit more. It's definitely been her strongest dance so far, but it feels a little high because she's still a little stiff and she's still not all the way there when it comes to connecting all her movements and really being expressive with dance. So I feel like that one was pretty good. That was one of the better scores of the night, in my opinion. Next up, Dylan Efron, who danced to I'm Not That Girl. Song choice aside, it was pretty good. He danced to Rumba, which is a very sensual dance, which did not match the song, but he got 4/8 for it, and he did have he was very fluid with his movements, very good. I think I would have just liked to see him dance a little bit more. It was just a lot of him lifting his partner, which is not his fault. He didn't choreograph it, he's just doing what he's told. But I think his dances look so good because he's not doing a ton. If I'm being honest. But for what he did do, it was worthy of an 8 in my book. So I feel like 4/8 was pretty fair. That was probably the most fair score of the night, in my opinion. Yeah. Moving on, Scott Hoying danced to The Wizard and I, and he got 4 7s. Can't really say I agree with that. Out of all the dances, that one was on the more entertaining side. I was a little more invested in it. People on TikTok and some of the judges were saying that Scott messed up a couple times. I'm not a dance expert. I didn't see any mistakes, so I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. I think maybe 2 7s and 2 8s would have been a little more fair. He did a little bit better than just 4 7s. Robert Irwin did Dancing Through Life and got 4 9s. Now, if you know me, I'm a Robert Irwin fan. I give that man 10 votes every week. I will continue to do so until he's eliminated. And I'm saying this again as a fan. It was not worthy of 4 9s. 3 8s and 1 9, honestly. And it's not even really his fault. I just think the choreography was lacking. Now, this dance was a jazz, and I'm starting to realize maybe I just don't understand jazzes. We can talk about that more later. But I think that it was lacking in actual content. It was a lot of him just working with props, which doesn't really count as dancing. And again, not his fault. He did not choreograph it. I think that's on his partner Whitney, kind of. She pulled so much choreography from the choreography in the movie that I'm like, this is not what I want to see. It didn't wow me. It didn't wow me. So I think he was a little overscored. Personally, again, as a fan of Robert Irwin, he was overscored. I'll call it like it is. Next up, we have Jordan Chiles, who danced to For Good, and she got 3 10s and 1 9. So this episode, we saw the first 10s in the season. Crazy. Too early for that. I think we had some really good dances tonight, but I don't think any of them were worthy of 10s. Love you, Jordan. I think 4 9s would have been an amazing assessment. Amazing assessment for this dance that she did. It was good. It was really good. I just think it was lacking a little more of the depth I wanted to see in the storytelling, because that's the point of Wicked Night, is they are telling the story of whatever song they're doing, and I felt like I didn't get a ton of that from Jordan's dance. Moving on to Whitney Levitt. She danced to Popular and also got 3 10s and a 9. Now, Whitney went before Jordan, so Whitney technically got the first 10s of the season, which again, I don't agree with. Now, her dance was a quick step, and I love a good quick step, and this was a really good quick step. Again, it just did not go all the way. I think like she can do so much better. So already like halfway through the season, putting her at her 10, where's she gonna go from here? See, you see? Yeah, onto something. And I think the judges kind of put themselves in this box and kind of did this one to themselves, because Robert went, he got his 4 9s, and then Whitney went. And Whitney's dance was very clearly better, much better than Robert's. And I think the judges put themselves in a hole because they were like, well, it was better. It was better, so we ought to give it a 10 because we gave Robert 9s. So I think they kind of did to themselves. So they either had to say that these two dances were on the same level or give out 10s, which I don't agree with. I think it is too early for any 10s. So I think straight 9s for this dance would have been acceptable. Next up, Danielle Fishel danced to No Good Deed, and she also got 4 9s. I love her. That is my girl. It was definitely improvement. Her best dance yet. She did what the judges asked, and she kind of went outside of like her bubbly 90s star box that she'd been in for all of her other dances. But it was a little stiff. Like, it didn't have like the passion and the intensity that an Argentine tango should have. I think again, guys, not a dance expert over here, but I think that's kind of where my shortcomings with the dance were. Next up, we have Andy Richter, who did One Short Day. He got 3 7s and a 6. But I think 3 6s and a 5 would have been much more acceptable. It's not his fault. He can't move. He's very expressive, very entertaining. But when it comes to actual dance steps, he doesn't do a ton. And I think this one was a jazz. And again, that brings me back to what I was saying. Like, jazzes and contemporary should not be allowed on the same nights with actual ballroom and Latin dances, because they're so lenient with what they are and what you can put in them, what you can't, how much dancing there can be versus like acting and that kind of stuff, that it's just, you can't like actually score that against a quick step and have it be fair. So I think maybe this scoring partially came from the fact that he had a jazz. I don't know. No excuses. He should have gone home. By the way, bitter about that he's still there. Next up, we have Alex Earle, who danced to What Is This Feeling? And she got 3 9s and an 8. So this one was also a jazz, and I kind of hated it. Like, I love her. I think she hit her mark. She did a really good job. The choreography, what was that? It was so lackluster. Like, this is Wicked Night. Like, if you've seen the movie, you know it is like so over the top. It is so everything. And this choreography was just, it was lacking. I was not here for it. And then last up, we had Elaine Hendricks, who danced to Defying Gravity, and she got 4 9s. I honestly think 4 9s would have been deserved if she danced a little more, because what she did was her and her partner Alan, they did this like section. It was a contemporary, so you know, it was a little more fluid of what it could be. And then for a good chunk of the dance, it's just Alan on the ballroom floor, because Elaine was setting up to go do like a moment where she's like rising up, like how they do in the stage production when Elphaba's like flying. So it was a really good homage to the movie. I actually really liked it. I thought it was very fun. That's what I want from Wicked Night. But it just required her to be not dancing for a lot of her dance. So for that reason, I would say maybe 3 8s and a 9 would have been a better reflection of everything, because her dancing that she did was amazing. It was beautiful. But she wasn't dancing for that long. So that night ended with Scott Hoying going home, which I'm bitter about, but we don't have time to talk about that. Thank you guys for listening to me complain, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!